Hello, my Arsenal futurites, my brothers and my sisters. How you doing? It's so good to be back again. And yes, we're in the cusp of another big game for Arsenal, another massive game. You know, but before going to that game, we're gonna be previewing the game against Brentford a bit later on. We're gonna give you the review of the game we played last against Sunderland at the Emirates. Of course, Arsenal ran out 3-0 winners against Sunderland at the Emirates. It was supposed to be a hard game because Sunderland, out of all the promoted teams, who came up from the Championship last season into the Premier League this season, they've been the most impressive. Of course, Leeds United have been quite good as well, which we played a couple of weeks ago. But Sunderland have probably been the pick of the bunch. So I had to yawn. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Sunderland have been the pick of the bunch. And they've been hard to break down. Of course, they got one of our ex-players, Granit Xhaka, playing for them in midfield. But he didn't play against Arsenal at the weekend because he was carrying a little injury. But we went at 3-0 winners against Sunderland. The first goal was scored by Martin Zubimendi, who scored from a wonderful low drive from about, I'll say, 25 yards out after the ball was played to him from the left by Leandro Trossard, who played quite well as well against Sunderland. And I must say, Leandro Trossard has probably been our best performing attacking player this season. Obviously, our best players this season have been Declan Rice, the two at the back, Gabby and Saliba, of course, Gabriel Margalez, and of course, William Saliba, and in midfield, Declan Rice. But those are more defensive players. But in terms of our offensive players, our attacking players, three Trossard, and I've heard other Arsenal fans say the same thing. Leandro Trossard has probably been the pick of the bunch, and so he found, as I said, Zubimendi on the left hand side, and he drew the ball straight into the net for 1-0 to Arsenal. And before I forget, please do me a favour. Please smash a like on this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Hype the video. Of course, share the videos. And of course, leave your comments down below, guys. Yes, and as I go on some more, we scored another 2 goals in the second half. It was the game, first half, Arsenal. It was a bit of a stalemate because we scored that goal and then that was it. And then the second half, really, we started to really up the tempo a bit. I like the way we played because we hardly gave the ball away and our midfield was in control. But the second half, we upped it. And of course, we were 2-0 up with a goal from Victor Gyökeres, a wonderful poacher's goal. Victor Gyökeres is really coming on leaps and bounds, and I think the return to the first team of Kai Havertz has been linking up with him really well. Those two have been really linking up really well. Kai Havertz and Victor Gyökeres. And unfortunately, Kai Havertz has been injured, and he's going to be out for a few games. We'll talk about that some more down the line. But yes, I must say he's been playing really well. And Gyökeres has scored some goals now, and he scored a second goal, and he scored a third goal after a wonderful run by Gabriel Martinelli. This was in the second half, actually. This is in the second half, yeah, and yes, and then we made it 3-0. And it was a very late goal. And of course, Gyökeres scores to make it 3-0. He scores again to make it 3-0 to Arsenal. And I can't stress how much that those 3 points meant to us, because we were at 9 points clear, and then Manchester City had to go to Anfield the next day on the Sunday, in which they won 2-1 in dramatic style. They're 1-0 down. A thunderbolt from, of course, Dominic Szoboszlai. Then in no time at all, they scored 2 goals. One was a penalty after Alisson clattered. I think he clattered in. Who did he clatter? Was it Mamouche? I think it was Mamouche. And then Ireland scored a third, but it was disallowed because of an infringement. And it was very controversial. There was a very controversial ending to that game, but Arsenal fans were very disappointed because we thought Liverpool were gonna beat City. And well, City haven't really won there much the last 20 years. One victory in 20 years, and I couldn't believe that. And the one time they won, there was no fans in the ground because it was when it was COVID. It was the COVID season of about 5 seasons ago. But Liverpool, after going 1-0 up, that was it. City took over. In the first half, it was all City, but I don't want to talk about that game. I'm just saying that Arsenal were 9 points clear, and after that game, it was 6 points. Of course, Manchester City wins again last night with a beat up Fulham 3-0 at the Etihad. So now we're down to 3 points again. So our game later on against Brentford away has to be a win. But this game, so far, we haven't done the review. We didn't do the review in the week for the Sunderland game, so here it is now. So Arsenal winning this game at that time would have been with 9 points clear. So it goes to show you what the difference a few days makes, because it was 9 points then. Now 4 or 5 days down the line, it's down to 3 points. But we've got a game in hand. So this game in hand against Brentford tonight, we win this game, which I'm hoping that we do. Back to 6, it's going to be back to 6 points, and then we'll have the FA Cup at the weekend, and then Wolverhampton Wanderers away in about a couple of weeks' time. Actually, I tell a lie, it's next week. Next week we're playing Wolves away. They were playing Spurs on the 22nd of February away. So we've got 3 games away from home in a row in the Premier League. Of course, sandwiched in between really the game against Wigan in the FA Cup at the Emirates, and so the FA Cup gives us a bit of a break from the Premier League. And of course, we've got the Champions League games coming up as well. But we're going to sit down and talk about that when we get the time. Look at the fixtures of Arsenal. Our next game's coming up. And where we can, in actual fact, we can't afford any slip-ups. We can't. You know, as long as Arteta rotates the team, I'll be so happy. We'll be so happy because he's going to give some of the players a break. Some of the players are going into the red zone. I'm even thinking that maybe even Saliba could do with a break, you know, because he's been looking a bit tired lately, Saliba. Declan Rice has been up and down for us. He needs a break. But the thing is with our squad, even our squad is very strong, we don't really have a replacement for Deckers. Probably the only area in the squad what doesn't have a strong backup. Because no guard is okay. He's steady, but he's no Declan Rice, you know. But hopefully I know we're looking a bit too farther down the line, but hopefully in the summer we get somebody who can rotate with Declan Rice. I keep trying to yawn. I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyway, ignore that. I'm just a bit hungry. I smelled some food over there, so it's making me yawn. But anyway, this is the review of the game against Sunderland. Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0 at the Emirates. And we went 9 points clear. Now we're back down to 3 points because there's 2 City games, Liverpool and then Fulham in between. So now back to 3 points. Hopefully we win later. Makes it 6 points again. We're still going to go to the Etihad. So I don't want to be going to the Etihad with us only 3 points in it. If it's 6 points or more in it, I'll be happy. But if it's down to just 3 points, we lose at the Etihad, which we could do. It's 11 points. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So, guys, you look after yourselves. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to smash a like in the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Leave your comments. And I must say thank you so much because you guys have really been supporting this channel lately. You know, there's a time when I was wondering if there's anybody listening to me. But since December, you guys have been mad supportive. You guys have really been on it. You know, you've been subscribing, you've been liking, you've been leaving 1 or 2 comments, you've been sharing the videos and the content, and I want to thank you so much for that, yeah? So you take care, and I'll speak to you a little bit later on with the preview of Arsenal's game against Brentford a little bit later on tonight. Adios.